Hello everyone, I'm Citlali Lopez and today I'm going to be narrating my map story. Um so the title is Fieldwork During Wildfires. Wildfires affect my community in Oxnard, especially the field workers who are directly exposed to the danger. By Citlali Lopez. Oxnard, California is a coastal city in Ventura County located at about an hour away from Los Angeles. Oxnard is known for its beautiful beaches and strong agriculture industry. Oxnard is especially famous for its strawberries, earning the nickname the strawberry capital of California. In Oxnard, many families work in the fields. Oxnard is a coastal beauty and an agriculture roots makes it a unique and important part of Southern California. Many families have migrated to Oxnard, California from different parts of the world to work in the agriculture industry. Latinos make up the majority of Oxnard's population. With the city being so diverse, it hosts numerous of festivals and parades to honor the culture and tradition of these migrant families. Every weekend in downtown Oxnard, there's a music festival where the community gathers to enjoy live music, dance, and try foods from different origins of the world, such as Mexico, Guatemala, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and many more. My story. I have lived in this beautiful town my whole life. Growing up in Oxnard, California has shaped who I am as an individual. This town has taught me to respect culture and tradition, and it has shown me that the importance of building strong bonds and lasting friendships. From the beach to the fields, every part of Oxnard holds meaning for me. It's not where I was raised, but it's where my roots are. My family migrated from Oaxaca, Mexico to Oxnard and found work in agriculture. For as long as I can remember, my parents have worked in the fields, mainly picking strawberries from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and during long hours of hard labor. Growing up, I watched my parents woke up at the crack of dawn, layering clothes to protect themselves from the sun. I saw them hunched over in the fields, picking strawberries no matter the weather. Whether it was a heat wave or a rainstorm, my parents and their coworkers continued working despite the harsh conditions, because this is how they provide for their families. Many families simply can't afford to miss even a single day of work. Although the job is physically demanding and draining, my parents have shared that they don't enjoy working in the fields, but it's the only work they know. It's how they can ensure food on the table for us. I have always understood that, but it never eased my worry for their safety and well being. Though this is my personal story, it's one shared by many others across Ventura County. My concerns and worry grew even more as wildfires became more frequent in Ventura County. With approaching fire season, my worry for my parents and others' safety grows. The county has failed to properly protect these workers and other vulnerable residents during wildfire emergencies. Environmental issue. An environmental issue that is affecting Oxnard is currently the increased threats of wildfires. For the past years, wildfires have become more common due to the climate change. I personally witnessed this issue through experiences like receiving alerts to avoid going outdoors as the air quality is hazardous, and receiving text messages from my mom showing the sky filled with black smoke and the sky being orange from the fires. These wildfires don't just damage land and property, but they put lives at risk, especially for field workers like my parents who often have to keep working even when smoke fills the air. This issue is deeply felt in our community in Oxnard. Wildfires create hazardous air conditions that affect everyone, but especially those working outdoors. When a fire breaks out, workers are often not sent home and they often continue working under dangerous skies without proper masks or protection. On top of that, these workers inhale hazardous air, which can lead to other health conditions such as respiratory problems like coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, as well as eye and throat irritation. My parents had to work in the fields during wildfires, wearing layers to protect themselves from the sun. while hunching over, picking strawberries for hours, and inhaling wildfire smoke without being given proper masks to protect themselves from the hazardous air. This creates a serious health hazard. This environmental crisis is something we feel in our lungs, in our homes, and in our community. Just recently, in the beginning of 2025, our community was hit by another major wildfire known as the 2025 Palisades Fire. This fire swept from Los Angeles through Malibu, a city right next to ours, and its effects were devastating. Thick smoke blanketed our skies, and ash rained down in our city. Despite the circumstances, many workers were expected to continue working along with children continuing their normal lives at school, despite the fires being so close to our community. The smoke made it hard to breathe outside, but it wasn't enough for our county to cancel school or work, even though our city had several other smaller fires, such as the Olive Fire, Auto Fire, and Laguna Fire. Each of these fires broke out near agriculture fields, creating serious safety hazards for our field workers. Here I created a map that shows the fires that broke up in Oxnard during the month of January 2025. While our community was also dealing with the smoke from the Palisades fire, our community was faced with many fires, and there has been an increase in these incidents over the past years. These fires are located dangerously close to our agriculture fields, making it a clear call to action. Unique data. One unique element of the storytelling is that it gives meaning and a face to these number data that we see. When these fires break out, my mother messaged me a video of the flames burning right by where she was working. Just seeing how close my mother and other workers were to the fires made my heart drop. Seeing this image and knowing my mother was feet away from the danger was another type of fear and perspective that the news and reports that these fires couldn't make me feel. When we look at maps and the data that shows the amount of acres that we burned, we don't see what's happening in those acres or in those communities. We don't see the worry and fear of these people when we see a chart of data. To further my point, the map I provided above shows where the fires broke out in Oxnard and the acres of land that were burned. The map above is all the data and records, and it doesn't show the direct effects these fires had on people or the community. The video my mother sent me when the fires reached her work showed that fires are impacting real lives and real people, which is a unique type of data that isn't seen in these data numbers. Storytelling gives faces to the data and shows that these numbers represent actual people. These are the people being affected. My mother and her workers were breathing in the harsh smoke, something that could lead to serious health problems later on. That is something you don't see in these data numbers. People's lives are being harmed in real time. Environmental solution. A case study that is relevant to this issue is the Wildfire Smoke Protection Rule. This rule was developed by OSHA, which is a U.S. government agency responsible for ensuring safety and healthy working conditions for employees by setting and enforcing standards by providing training and outreach and education and assistance. This case is a regulation that requires employers to provide respiratory protections like N95 masks that are suited for hazardous air pollution, such as fires and minor air quality when the air quality index for PM 2.5 exceeds 151 due to wildfire smoke. In short, employees need to monitor the air quality, and if the air isn't in the safe zone, employees need to send their employees home. This rule also requires employers to train on wildfire smoke exposure and actions to reduce the harm when a wildfire occurs. However, in many cases, these protections aren't enforced, but many organizations and other cities take measures to ensure that this rule is followed or ensure that the field workers are safe. The way other cities address this issue is by having field workers organize that help workers understand their rights and protections. These organizations have to develop text message alerts to notify workers when a wildfire breaks out and where it's located. They connect with lawyers if their rights are violated or if they're injured due to fires. Some of these organizations also distribute masks during wildfires either through pop-up events or by delivering them directly to the fields. This issue is a solution that other cities have used and that I plan on using to solve this issue in Oxnard. To approach this issue, it's important to apply the SMART criteria that fits Oxnard's agriculture community in protecting and ensuring the safety of our field workers during wildfires. SMART. S. Specific. The goal to accomplish is the safety of our field workers. To achieve this, we can launch a safety program that provides bilingual English and Spanish assistance. This program can have volunteers help educate workers about their rights despite legal status, along with launching a message alert that alerts them if a wildfire breaks out and the exact location of the wildfire when a wildfire breaks out. We'll provide N95 mass distribution and real-time air quality updates to field workers in Oxnard. M. Measurable. Reach at least 60% of field workers in Oxnard area during the next wildfire season. This could be achieved through social media posts, word of mouth, reaching out to local organizations that have the same goal in mind of protecting field workers. Regarding the next wildfire season, we can distribute 595 masks through local farms and nonprofit partnerships when the next wildfire season approaches. Perhaps A. Achievable. Perhaps reaching 60% of field workers in Oxnard might be unrealistic, but to ensure that our organization reaches to correct our audience in a partnership with a trusted local organization such as MICOP, Mixteco Indígena Community Organizing Project, and Ventura County Public Health could help achieve this goal by using existing communication networks to spread awareness. R. Relevant. This program addresses a critical health risk for one of the most vulnerable yet essential labor groups in our agriculture community and economy. Protecting their health is a moral responsibility during environmental crisis. T. Time bound. Beginning planning and outreach in September 2025, which could help promote the program and reach the right audience by May 2026. We can ensure that we reach the correct audience by evaluating its success by October 2025 using surveys and mass distributions records. In the end, data and maps can only show so much. They don't show the fear, the health risks, or the real people affected by wildfires, such as my mother and her coworkers. Storytelling helps us see beyond the numbers and remind us that these are people's lives and not just numbers. That's why it's important to take action using the wildfire smoke protection rule as starting point and adapting it with the SMART criteria. It gives us a clear and realistic way to protect our fields in Oxnard, California, and perhaps expand and help other cities. By creating a plan that's focused on our community needs, we can make sure that people who feed our communities are also kept safe during wildfire season. Thank you.